Hello and welcome to NerdVsWorld episode 76. SharkNerdo.
Woohoo! Thanks, Scorpion.
Yeah, thanks. I'm Brendan.
I'm Spindles.
And on today's show, Spindles will be recapping his time at the SF Ball. We're talking about various trailers that have dropped recently at the Super Bowl. I saw La La Land, so we'll talk about that. I also saw Krull.
Ah, yes, you're back on the Ready Player One challenge.
I did a live drunk tweet of watching that. So that's a thing.
All right, and other stuff, but let's not move away from this quite yet. So, you live tweeted watching Krull while drunk.
Yeah, I was drinking mead. And let's see if I can find some of my Twitter.
First question is, what on earth possessed you? And this is the first time you've watched Krull?
Yeah, I'd never watched Krull before.
Right.
And my housemate was really pissed off at me that I hadn't watched Krull before. So
I'm pissed off at you that you haven't watched Krull.
So he got the DVD out, and he also happened to have a bottles of mead. So we got a bit drunk. I'm looking at my timeline. This is from the other night. So if you follow me on Twitter, then you'll see my random...
You will have already have seen this. This, however, is entirely new to me, because this must have happened while I was at the SF Ball.
Okay, so yeah. Watching Krull as part of my Ready Player One film challenge, having fun with how gloriously it is aged, and how it could be recast. Also drinking quite a lot of mead, so yeah, hashtag Krull. In my recasting of Krull, Colwyn would be played by Chris Pratt.
Okay. Is that just because Chris Pratt plays everyone these days?
No, because he looks like a young Ken Marshall.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah, he totally would. Feeling sad for the Cyclops, he just wants some peeps to hang out with. Then I tweeted, the fucking shitty mage just rinsed that poor kid out of his chocolate. What a douche. Hashtag Krull. Oh, the mage just turned himself into a dog because the kid lost his father figure. Slowly warming up to Ergo, who, I have to say, is my favourite character in the entire film.
Of course!
And the film would play out exactly the same way if he wasn't in it.
Yeah.
And he's the only character who has any kind of development. He's this random shitty mage who keeps turning himself into random animals. Fire mares. They sound fucking awesome. Oh, wait. They're Shire horses. Hashtag Krull. And the next tweet was, wait, they're Shire horses with flames coming out their hooves. Awesome. Next tweet, and they can fly. Fuck yeah, fire mares. And then I realised that King Colwyn was the traitor Eddington from Deep Space Nine, and that blew my tiny drunken mind. Then Ergo turned into a tiger and fucked a Slayer up. Get wrecked, son, was my tweet. Yeah, and then it went on. And then it went on and on a little more. Yeah.
Okay, so all in all, a successful drunk watching of Krull.
In fact, I'm going to think that there's a number of films on that list that I haven't actually seen ever.
Okay.
So when I watch those films, I'm going to do a live tweet of it. If I happen to be drunk, I happen to be drunk.
Apologies, I still haven't got around to zeroing out that list.
Oh, that's fine. I'll take that up and we'll take care of that. That's fine.
Cool, excellent. You know how to edit.
Yeah, I can edit a list.
So, what were your overall opinions of Krull then?
I kind of liked it. So, if I understand things correctly, it was originally meant to be a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that from the way that they formed the party, and you got the cleric and the druid and all the character types are there. But apparently Gygax didn't like the sci-fi elements of it. And that's the one thing I didn't like either.
The glaive.
The laser beam, and the laser beams from the swords. And it's not a glaive, it's a shuriken.
Well, it was called the glaive.
Yeah. It's not. A glaive is...
Well, I know it's not a glaive, but it was just called the glaive. It's a sci-fi universe, it could be fucking anything. That's just what they call it, alright?
Yeah, what was I? Oh yeah. Gygax didn't like the sci-fi element of it, but it still got picked up. I thought it was good. I mean, it's not aged particularly well.
Oh God, no! Its effects are awful.
But it has got.
But it stands testament to what you can achieve if you stick your hand in some tepid tomato ketchup.
And like it's got like 7 British actors in there as well. Liam Neeson was in there.
Yeah.
Robbie Coltrane was in there. Your man from Great Children EastEnders was in there. Tom Kay. And one thing I couldn't believe was the director directed Bullet by Steve McQueen.
Okay, that I didn't know because I'm not a fan of westerns. So
Bullet's not a western,
is it not? I thought Steve McQueen. I thought all of his were westerns.
No, Bullet's the one in San Francisco with the car chase.
Oh, okay. No, again, still not seen it. So okay.
So yeah, that was a shock because we look at the artist features on the DVD special features menu. Like, no way did he direct the most iconic car chase of all time and then direct Kroll. But yeah, he did.
Well, there you go.
But I enjoyed it. It's another one checked off the list.
Have you done many more?
No. I think I've just done, with this attempt at the list, I've just done Ghostbusters and Kroll so far.
Right, okay.
I have enough popcorn at home to go through some more.
See, now I'm not sure I can engage with the Ready Player One challenge this time. I really want to, but I found myself in this weird situation of re-watching 90s teen dramas.
Yeah, Dawson's Creek. I saw that. What the fuck's that about?
Well, it came from, it was a day at work, and there were emails flying around, which was on this day, and people were doing it for their birthdays.
Yeah.
And of course, on my birthday, the day I was born, is the same day that James Van Der Beek was born. So I've always had this thing that James Van Der Beek stole my fame. The character of Dawson was the thing that I was supposed to be doing, being a film director and doing things like that, and going to film school and talking like I was 40 with people around me. Yeah. So I got a bit nostalgic for Dawson's Creek because I used to love it.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it as well.
And so I've mainlined the first 2 seasons already. Dawson's such a dick in the first couple of seasons.
There's 2 episodes that stand out for me. The one is their Breakfast Club episode.
Yes, which was season 1, the end of.
And then there's the Halloween episode where they're all stuck in Dawson's house.
Yes.
With a killer on the island.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, so there are some cracking episodes, and I will continue making my way through it. But it's kind of... It's been a lot of 90s nostalgia going on in my life recently, so then I started watching My So-Called Life.
I love that show.
But I'd never seen it before.
I completely
missed it. Because from the conversation we had when we were watching it, it was my friend Hannah who said about it, because I had no idea that it was Jared Leto and Claire Danes. And we were talking about it, and I'd figured out that it must have been either my first or second year at uni. It was showing on terrestrial TV here, so that was a point when I was just not watching any TV.
Yeah, I think it was 94, 95, I think it was.
Yeah, so 95 is when I went to uni, so...
Oh, Rayanne Graff was my first crush.
Right, okay.
I think I've always been attracted to, like, kooky, sort of out there women as a result. Yeah, Rayanne Graff. Oh, I love that show, man. That show was so forward thinking as well.
Well, I'm quite
in its portrayal of
it's the complete polar opposite of Dawson's Creek. So where the main character is female, it's her dad that's going and having the affair rather than the mum, and all the parallels are there. But it's just like it's a completely different environment, because whereas in Dawson's Creek they'll kind of sit around contemplating their own navels, watching videos in Dawson's bedroom. In this, they're going to like backyard parties where there are full-on bands playing and people jumping around and throwing beer at each other.
How far into it are you?
I've got like episode 6 or 7.
Okay, it's one of those series where the Christmas episode in this series is phenomenal.
Okay,
one of the best Christmas episodes of a TV show of any TV show, and the way they handle homosexuality in this show is so ahead of its time.
Yeah, well, yeah.
For
we
had
the episode where the gay guy was going on about bringing the gun into the school when he didn't, and he was taking the rap for it so that people would be scared of him and stuff. And it was, there's some very, very interesting themes in it.
Yeah.
So I'm really enjoying it. But once again, Jared Leto, what a fucking dick!
Yeah.
His character is. I hope he redeems himself by the end of it, because for the first 4 or 5 episodes, he's just such a dick.
Yeah, but the good thing is it becomes less about him and more about Angela.
That's good. That's good.
It's kind of a weird flip, because he's obviously he's obviously a MacGuffin for her. He's a prize for her.
Yeah.
But her pursuit of that puts too much emphasis on him as a character.
Right.
But yeah, he does redeem himself in certain elements, especially with is it Brian, Angela's nerdy friend?
Yeah, the nerdy next door neighbour. Yeah.
There's a nice episode with the two of them later in the series.
Okay.
It's one of those shows that it got cancelled before its time.
Yeah, only one season of it. Yeah. So I will persevere and I will watch the rest of it.
It's amazing.
But, and then on top of that, there was another replay of Gone Home. I don't know if you've heard me speak about Gone Home before. Gone Home it's a kind of point and click adventure game that's about a girl. It's all set in the mid-90s. And it's a girl who comes back from being abroad for a year. So she's been travelling around Europe and stuff, and comes back to her house and is expecting to find her parents and her sister, and just finds a note from her sister saying, "Tell Mum and Dad I'm sorry." And then you just explore around the house, and it's all about the things you find, and the story builds up. Okay. And it's a wonderful, wonderful game. And if you've never played it, then I would urge you to go out there and play it. It's a wonderful indie game, and it's not at all what you expect it to be from the outset. And it ends up being one of the most satisfying, wonderful, heart-wrenching games I've played in a very, very long time. Okay. I put it up there as being one of my favourite games of last year when I was on the Wonky Gamer podcast the other week, because it's utterly fantastic.
Okay.
So try it. Full of 90s nostalgia. You know, that there are X-Files videos all over the house, and pictures of all sorts of stuff, and I Want to Believe posters, and it's utter genius.
I'll check it out.
Do check it out. I think it's pretty much definitely on PS4, and it may well be on Steam as well. So get it, play it. It's a wonderful, wonderful game. It took us, with the four of us playing it was with Megan driving. It took us about 4 hours, I think, to play the whole thing. So it's not a long game, but it is what you make of it. It's very, very cool. So give that a try. But yes, so this month has been brought to you by 90s nostalgia.
Amazing. I've been kind of on an 80s nostalgia trip. Like, the reason I started the challenge again was because I was introduced to synthwave this month.
Oh right, okay.
I've never heard that as a music genre before, and a friend of mine sent me a track by a band called Gunja, called Tech Noir. I listened to it.
I know Tech Noir. Yeah.
Really liked it, and then they had Fly for Your Life is on that album as well, and that track needs to be playing during the Zero Gravity club scene in Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Because if you read the book, you know that scene's important on a number of levels. Like, the Gunters come after Artemis and Percival as they're at this party, and it's a big action sequence, and the track's actually quite slow, but there's...
Isn't Simon Pegg playing the...
he is...
the character that's
club,
DJing in the club, yeah.
The scene... If I was to do the music sync, I'd pick this track. It's not an action track like the scene would typically suggest, but there's some lyrical cues in there which I think speaks to Artemis and Percival's relationship at the time, and I think there is a subtext in that scene which needs to come through in the music. If they don't do it, which they probably won't, because who's listening to me at this point?
Everyone!
Then, when the film comes out on DVD, if I get a copy of the scene, I will do my own...
You'll redub it.
I will redub it with that music, because I think it needs to be done. But yeah, so the whole 80s synthwave music genre like really caught me up. Like, I've been listening to an awful lot of it.
Come across stuff like Gossip and
FM84. Yeah. So yeah, that was what inspired the Ready Player One challenge.
Okay, fair enough.
Going back again.
So that's why it's back. Fair enough.
Why it's back. That, and I've got plenty of time at the moment, so I might as well do something with it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
So yeah. Wow, we got really far off track. We didn't even finish an intro.
That was it's organic, sir. Okay, so what other stuff were we going to be talking about?
Just crack on with the sci-fi ball.
Okay, so the sci-fi ball, yes. So it's the second time we've been down to this. We went a couple of years ago, and then had, I think it was a year off, and then I recorded a podcast with the organisers about a month or so ago, ahead of the event, and then they were like, "Oh, come down." So we went down and got involved, and it's a great weekend. I mean, it's a unique convention. I've not been to any other like it. It's fairly small scale. It's only I think there's probably only about 500 to 700 people go to it.
Okay.
And they're there for the entire weekend, and the whole event is based around essentially a sit-down 3-course meal on the Saturday night, and then a ball afterwards. And it's kind of grown out of that. It used to be the Starfleet ball. It's now the SF ball. Yeah. So they're kind of trying to branch out from it just being a Star Trek convention into doing lots of other things. So this year's theme was Winter is Coming. So it was all Game of Thronesy, and they had 3 of the Game of Thrones cast there over the weekend. It was Ian McElhenney, Ian Beattie, and I forget the name of the other guy. Roger Ashton Griffith.
Okay, so characters.
So Mace Tyrrell, Ian Beattie is the one I can't. Meryn Trant, the one that Arya stabs the fuck out of, and Sir Barristan, that carked it along with when him and Grey Worm got attacked by the people in with Daenerys. So yeah, those 3 guys were there, and they were great. Yeah, we did an interview with them and a bunch of other people. The main guests of the weekend were they were the Star Trek ones, which was Gates McFadden and
awesome.
Patty Yasutaki, who was the Nurse Ogawa in Star Trek Next Generation as well. So it was the medical crew of Next Gen.
Nice.
So that was really nice. Dave Freeman was there, who's a visual concept artist who worked on stuff like Jupiter Ascending and Terminator Genesis, and not the greatest. There are other ones that are really good films in franchises, but his work is absolutely stunning. His visual work. We sat and watched the panel with him because Megan's getting into it now. She's got a Wacom tab and stuff, so they were talking about using Wacom. So she was like, "I've got one of them." It was all very exciting for her. And who else was there? Chris Barry was there, and a guy called Larry Nemeczek, who I hadn't really heard of before the weekend. He's a Star Trek archivist over in the States, and he's put together a documentary called The Con of Wrath, which is about an infamous Star Trek convention in the 80s that was planned, and loads of money went into the organisation of it, and it bombed. And it's apparently one of the biggest convention fails in history, so it's a documentary about that. I had a good chat with him. He's a really nice guy. But the thing is about this event is it's that the guests and the attendees they're in the same hotel for the entire weekend, and they just all hang out and they talk to each other. They have, there's a loose program of panels on. There's not so much conflicting stuff. It's all in kind of one main room, and people can get involved in that if they want. But it's mainly a social event for people just to hang out. And there's some traders that they can get stuff from and get stuff signed and go to panels and just sit around in the bar and chat with some celebrities for a weekend. And it's very interesting to watch the celebrities when they arrive doing the opening ceremony and saying, hello, looking forward to it, and when they leave going, oh my god, this is just like one of the best cons we've ever been to, because it's very, very relaxed, it's very, very friendly, it's a very unique convention in my
I'll have to go to it next year.
It's very, very cool. I'd say you should go and check it out. It's they do a lot of cool, fun kind of piss-take game shows and things that I got involved in and failed. And
were you on a quiz and failed?
I was on a quiz and I failed. That's not like I have a track record of this.
Yeah, you mentioned that over dinner.
So yes, I didn't do particularly well at what was it? A Question of Snort was the the name of the show. But the one thing that they do, and they do incredibly well, is their production values. So all of their quizzes are they're all interactive. They've got a massive 4K wide screen at the back of the stage. The show trailers on, and it's all interactive, and it's absolutely stunning. The tech that gets put into this is absolutely brilliant.
That's cool.
And It's all proceeds go to charity. It's the Teenage Cancer Trust. They have various auctions and raffles and things over the course of the weekend to make money. They have, money can't buy raffles, so they have like press packs, and they have signed pictures and bits of concept art and things that have fallen into people's bags on the way out of studios that should have been shredded and stuff. So that's why they have the money can't buy. So it's things that you cannot get anywhere else.
That's cool.
And they auction all that off, and it's all for charity, and so all the proceeds go to the Teenage Cancer Trust. Utterly fantastic event.
Brilliant. I'm jealous. I saw some of the pictures from your weekend. They look pretty cool. I like your Star Trek transporter picture.
Yeah, the awesome 360 on the transporter pad.
Transporter pad. Yeah.
That's probably one of the favourite 360s I've done so far.
Yeah.
When doing most of the interviews, I recorded most of the interviews with a 360 camera as well. So I've got the Game of Thrones cast that we interviewed in the press room, and the other guest, Terry Malloy, of course, I didn't mention, who was Davros.
Yeah.
So we interviewed him. So I've got some 360-degree interviews that I recorded as well. So I will be putting them out on YouTube at some point if they're good enough.
Oh, while you were off, I was off watching La La Land.
Oh,
I did say that I was going to watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, go on then.
Okay. It's great. It's fantastic. I loved it. I really did.
I'm going to hate it, aren't I?
It's really weird for a musical. For one that I really enjoyed watching, I can't hum a single fucking bar of any of the songs they played in it, which is kind of weird, I guess. But on the other side, if they were shit, I'd have remembered them as well.
Yeah, true.
So, but no, I just thought it was a really, really sweet film. It's not your typical romantic comedy type of film either. Like, it builds to a really nice ending and a really nice payoff in a way that you don't expect. And I was a fan of that, in the same way that I was a fan of 500 Days of Summer.
Okay.
It's it leaves you perfectly satisfied, and it takes the film to do that. It's almost like the ending was thought of first, and they wanted to work out how they could drive the film towards that ending, and they've done it really well. And like Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling are just perfectly cast, and the chemistry is insane. It's not like I don't think it should win any Best Picture awards. It's not out there in terms of that, but it's one that you will watch and you'll come out of it feeling really, really happy. And I did. I loved it. But I love musicals, and I studied a lot of musicals in my master's degree, so it was right up my wheelhouse.
Well, you see, that's where we must agree to disagree. I studied lots of musicals as part of my performing arts degree, and I fucking hate them all. I fucking hate the way that people talk and that the music starts in the background and then they seg into lyrics and start singing. I fucking hate that.
It's awesome. It's the expression of emotion, and it's...
I don't mind expressing emotion. I just hate the lead into a song. When you transition from dialogue to music, I hate it. I hate it. It's my worst thing on earth.
I've been watching a few musicals recently then, so you're not going to like that. I saw Sing Street recently too. That's a great little film as well.
Okay, so on the subject of musicals, Beauty and the Beast live action remake.
What, with Emma Watson? Yeah?
What do you think about it?
I'm up for it.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's too soon. I think I've filed it already under why bother.
I don't know.
Is it just because I'm a grumpy bastard? I don't know.
Maybe. And what's really weird is that it's you being a grumpy bastard.
I know, right?
That's my default setting is grumpy bastard. So I'm not quite sure I like this.
It is somewhat of a turnaround.
Yeah,
but
it is.
It's poking that bit of me that hates musicals.
See, I am, through most things, a grumpy bastard, but there are things that I love, and when I love things, like, I love them completely, unabashedly, and unreservedly, and musicals are one of those things.
See, now I like pure musicals. I don't know whether we've said this before, but I like pure musicals. So I like Jesus Christ Superstar.
Okay, yeah.
That's great. I like... I'm trying to think of other examples. Well, there's ones that aren't exactly pure musicals, but they're close, like Repo, the Genetic Opera.
Okay.
So ones that are more musical than they are dialogue. It's just, I can't stand most of the breaks in between.
So you like them the closer they are to opera?
Well, it's not even opera, because I don't like the style of opera.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that something is expressed just through music and lyrics.
Okay, so Singing in the Rain.
It's a classic. Not really my type of music.
Seven Brides, Seven Brothers?
No.
What about Strictly Ballroom?
No. Again. Grease. No, again, having done that, no, because I've been in that and I hated it. So. I think it's because I've done so many musicals.
Maybe that's it.
I think I've just OD'd at an early age because I've done Calamity Jane and Grease and...
Okay, perhaps that's it. Perhaps because I've never actually had to endure being in a musical. I have...
Oklahoma and fucking... Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
I don't know, my study gets into all different types of thing on film music.
Yeah, I've been on stage singing in a dress, for fuck's sakes, so, you know...
Yeah, all right. I can I can see where your hatred stems from. Yeah.
So, wouldn't it be funny to put the tall, beardy, long hair in a dress and make him sing? Yes.
No.
Fuck you all.
All right. Let's move past musicals then.
So, what you're saying is La La Land is good.
Yeah.
I'll take your opinion on that, and I'll never watch it.
Yeah, it's a perfectly serviceable film, and yeah, you'll feel good watching it.
So, I'm going to sweep the Oscars, you reckon?
I don't know, because I haven't had a chance to compare it to other films yet.
Okay.
Like, Worcester View, I don't know what it is. Like, you can see it in Bristol, you can see it in Birmingham, but Worcester View just hasn't been showing any of the other nominated films.
Okay.
Didn't show Moonlight, hasn't shown Manchester by the Sea. Want to watch both of those. Didn't show Fences. Didn't show Hidden Figures. I think it's shown Lion at the moment, but that's about it. There's so many that I wanted to see that I haven't had a chance to.
Okay.
Which sucks. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Fair enough. Okay, where are we next?
We promised some trailer talk, didn't we?
Trailer drops!
Yeah. Okay, so it's the Super Bowl. So in the middle of the sports bowl game, they show trailers.
Yes.
Yeah, and they showed some really cracking trailers. They showed a really, really, really small tease for Stranger Things Season 2.
Yes, the Ghostbusters tease.
Oh, it looked immense. The one thing that I've noticed from it, though, right, is... Where's Will? You see him once. Towards the end, he opens the door, and the sky is red, and it looks like the Upside Down has come to our realm. But when the kids are together, like with the Ghostbusters stuff, or when they're cycling... It's just the three of them.
Well, it may well be that Will's either grounded, having gone missing, or
which is a fair shout.
Yeah, there could be a myriad reasons.
Can't blame him, though, can you?
Well, no, indeed. After
it's not his fault.
Goes missing. His parents could quite legitimately lock him down. However, if the ending of season 1 is anything to be believed, then he's kind of still crossing between realms.
Yeah. And bringing that realm to this realm, I think, is the way it's going to play out. Or he could have gone again.
Or, indeed, he could just slip back in and go missing again. But do you think that would lose its impact a bit if they did the same plot device again?
I think it would, yeah. But yeah, it was an interesting tease. The Ghostbusters... Halloween costume, I'm going to guess, was an iconic shot. Looking forward to it. And of course they had that David Arbor had his acceptance speech at the Screen Actors Guild, and Winona Ryder went crazy. There have been so many cracking memes about that. It's great. Go out and watch it. Okay,
Some other stuff. We've had the Iron Fist trailer drop.
Yeah, the final Defender arrives on March 17th. So, yeah. It's looking like... But they all seem to have their definite themes, like Luke Cage is very much sort of the gangster movie of the Marvel TV Cinematic Universe crossover type thing. This looks like the Hong Kong Fooey punch 'em up.
It's a bit of that crossed with Arrow, in my opinion. It's the kid that's gone missing comes back trope.
Well, I'm getting much more of a martial arts vibe out of this, which I guess is perfectly reasonable considering the source. And yeah, it looks like we're seeing the threads of Daredevil season 1 and 2, and well, specifically those two, really being pulled together in this with the hand. It's interesting. We'll have to see how it goes. What are your thoughts?
I'm really looking forward to it. You know, it's the last missing piece of the puzzle that I don't know yet. So I'm looking forward to it. I was a little bit disappointed with the bad guys in Luke Cage, as we've said before. But I think as a whole, they've created the universe really, really well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this next one has to bring to it, and then looking on towards the Defenders.
Yeah. And we get a crossover as well with Night Nurse. She's in the trailer too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's one of the threads holding it together.
So yes, because she's appeared in all of them. Yeah. So I imagine she's the driving force between getting them all together again.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a lot of big unanswered questions, like the massive hole in the earth and things that from Daredevil, and so we'll have to see. But that's looking good, and I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, we've got big shows coming back. Game of Thrones due for summer. I don't know what else we can say about that. It's
there are lists of spoilers out there. Well, it's a radio show, so you can't see it. I'm using spoilers with bunny rabbit ears. People's predictions and people claiming that they've seen plot breakdowns and stuff. It's out there. If half of them are true, then it's going to be immense.
I think whatever happens, it's going to be immense, and I think it's going to leave it on a massive cliffhanger leading into the final season, which is great. But there's already the talk about the prequel series and stuff, and how that's going to work, and we will have to see. I mean, I will be very, very surprised if there isn't at least some kind of spin-off show, because it's so popular.
Yeah. And
even if a spin-off show is half as good, then it's still going to be popular.
Yeah, you have to be careful how they do it, though. Although, saying that, like, there is so much source material for it.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have to wait for them to finish writing anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just fill it in.
Other stuff returning. We've got Walking Dead due back soon.
It's next Sunday.
Yeah. So there's... Looks like we're going down the Rick versus Negan route, but they have released the brief synopses of the first 4 episodes.
Yeah, which I think is going a bit too fast.
Well, I think it is, because the whole Negan thing is supposed to go on for a very long time.
Yeah, I think they're rushing it, which is a shame.
Yeah, I just don't think it's had the impact they wanted it to have. So I think they're having to do a bit of, potentially hasty rewrites in order to appease an ailing fan base.
Yeah. That'd be, I guess. Like, what were they hoping to achieve with Negan? Make him the villain for one series? Like, I think you're going to lose more fans if you rewrite it and conclude it quicker. Well, because it's not even concluded in the comics. Negan's still around in the comics at the moment. I don't know. I think they have to pick now, very carefully, what they want to be. Do they want to be an interpretation of the comics in their own right and separate themselves from the comic book storylines, or do they want to be faithful to the source? I think that's the choice they're going to have to make. I don't want to see them rush and ruin things with Negan.
No. But yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. I've been trying to finish off the second season of Fear the Walking Dead, which
I get up on that.
Yeah, I'm nearly at the end of it. I've been watching a couple of episodes this week, and it's okay. There's an interesting segment in a hotel, which is kind of cool. So there's like a woman who was running the hotel, and so she has keys, so she has the ability to lock off various bits of it, and essentially moves hordes of the undead through the building to chase off people who are trying to come into the hotel, because she knows how it all works and has control of the building. So it's kind of like using the environment as a weapon, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a theme that gets reused again and again, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I quite like that. Other stuff that's come back. The Expanse is back!
The Expanse is back, yeah.
Yay!
There you go.
Fucking awesome hard sci-fi show.
Yeah, if you're in the mood for some really hard sci-fi, then The Expanse is... That should be on top of your watch list.
Yeah, it really should. I mean, I've been ploughing through the audiobooks of the novels, and was very, very surprised to discover that season 1 of the TV show is only the first half of book 1, and there are 6 books.
That's pretty intense. Yeah, and it's an awesome show. Really, really good show. I'm getting the vagueness of a plot to inspire to instigate a war between Mars and Terra. Yeah.
But there's also some alien involvement as well.
Yeah, I'm still forgetting what I've watched from the first season.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a bit of a recap at the start of the second season, but not enough for me to go, oh yeah, I remember that. So
essentially, it's Miller's quest to find Juliet Mao.
Yeah, who's dead, isn't she?
Well, they found her dead at
season 1.
in the hotel.
Yeah.
On Eros, and then they all abandoned Eros.
And then it got bloated up. Phoebe Station got blown up.
Yeah, Phoebe Station got blown up, but Eros is still there and infected.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, it's a puzzler and it's a headfuck.
What's very interesting for me is watching this first couple of episodes. They've backfilled some roles that don't appear until the second book, and they've been doing it since the first season. So Avisarala, who's the UN diplomat on Earth, she doesn't appear until book 2.
Okay.
So they've brought her role well forward to give you a presence on Earth, because there was no Earth presence in the first book at all.
Okay.
So they've backfilled a lot of it. They reference it in book 2 of what she was up to during that period, but she's only introduced in the second book. And a new character that they've introduced in this season, who also doesn't appear until the second book, is Bobby Draper, who's a Martian Marine, which you've just seen appearing in the first episode of this. Yeah. And again, she doesn't appear until the second book. I was a little bit disappointed because I had in my mind Gwendolyn Christie to play that role, based on how she's depicted in the books. Yeah. She's depicted as like a big belter Marine, and obviously it's difficult to do on the TV show, because in the books the belters, because of the atmosphere and things where they grow up, they are much taller than humans and ganglier, and so it's difficult to write that into a show where you don't have the availability of people with that genetic makeup.
Yeah, or the SFX budget to manipulate.
Quite.
Yeah.
On an ongoing basis. Because you could do Avatar and do all of that, but it would be ridiculously expensive. Yeah. And for a show that already has a massive SFX budget.
And they play it up differently as well. They do mention the physiological differences between Belters, Martians and Terrans. Yeah. It's played on a bit in the first season, especially in lung capacity. Yeah,
indeed. Yeah. I love the hard science aspect of it, of how they overcome human frailty to be able to travel at high Gs, and how it all works. Yeah. So it's very, very heavy on the science, in the books.
Yeah, that's why we categorise it as hard
Yeah,
sci-fi.
it is.
Not just because it's difficult to watch and understand, but because it's the science base is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really enjoying that. Other shows that have come back, The Magicians.
Never got around to it.
It's awesome. Yeah. Honestly, if you've ever watched Narnia and thought, that's a bit creepy, do you know what could make it even better? A bunch of teenage kids who kill each other and swear a lot.
Brilliant.
And then some really dark, sinister undertones of unpleasantness. And that's what The Magicians is. It's genius. It really is. It's very, very dark, but it's an excellent show.
Okay.
It's...
You're not the first person to mention that to me, actually.
Yeah, it's like The Craft with the gloves off.
Okay. So the thing is, like, we've had a weird bit of time recently because of the American elections. A lot of shows have coming back from mini breaks as they are, and some shows are going back onto breaks. Like Gotham came back for like 2 episodes, I think, and is now on its winter break.
Okay.
Lucifer went off for a bit and came back and is now for its winter break.
Yeah.
Both shows which are phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I've caught up with Lucifer and that's fantastic.
And then, of course, I think one of my favourite shows so far this season has been Bull.
Yeah.
And we slammed that show.
I know, right? Well, that's it. I think the two shows that we slammed right at the start before they came out was Bull and Designated Survivor.
Yeah, and they've both been awesome.
And they are both really good shows.
And we really picked up Son of Zorn, and that's been a massive disappointment.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in God knows how long. But yeah, so Bull and Designated Survivor have been real highlights of this season. Did you see the one with the woman who blew up the courtroom?
Yeah.
That's an excellent episode.
Last night's was good as well.
I've not seen that yet, so it's there on the screen ready to be watched.
It's an e-gaming one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but of course the big TV news, as we alluded to it last time out with mentioning that Moffat was having his last season, we figured Capaldi wasn't going to be too far behind. And of course, Doctor Who, Capaldi is...
Of course, there's the announcement.
Leaving at the end of the season. You know what? I hope the companion leaves as well, because I want the new writers to have a complete fresh slate with their own companion and their own Doctor. I think that's been a problem in the past, has been the crossover. So, there's the inevitable casting talk. Have your choices changed much from last time out?
I don't know. As I had a very interesting proposition put to me from Mr. Causery,
yes,
which is that we should spend a season based on what Tom Baker said at the end of the 50th, which is about the Doctor revisiting some old faces and potentially have a season of one-offs of returning Doctors.
Okay. So who's visiting who?
Well, I don't know.
We're going to have a season
as in revisiting the faces. So the problem is at the moment, all the rules have been broken. So the rules of how many regenerations you're allowed has gone.
Yeah.
That's gone utterly out the window. It is no more. So the question is, does he now have unlimited regenerations? Can he go back amongst all his previous ones? What can happen? Obviously, if he goes back to Tom Baker's regeneration, he gets older. Can he then go back to the others and revisit them as older characters? That would give some continuity to Peter Davison turning up in the Time Crash episode.
Yeah. Okay.
So, do we have a season of revisiting all the previous Doctors, but played by the actors now?
So I get Sylvester McCoy back on.
Yeah.
Get Peter Davison back on. Well, I say yes. Obviously, that'd be amazing. Who wouldn't want to see Colin Baker get a shot at being a Doctor again?
Indeed. Who wouldn't?
Or Sylvester McCoy.
No. And I'm sure you can engineer a situation because of all the timey-wimey fuckery that's going on,
Yeah.
that, you could easily make a case for, unstable regenerations. This happens, he regresses into this Doctor for an episode, and then regenerates back into another one at the end of it, even randomly, around the ones that are still alive.
So we have this... Okay, so we're going to have this as the season after Capaldi's left. So the first post-Capaldi season is a season where his regeneration is just so messed up, he's becoming his previous
selves, yeah.
Which would work, because you could say that, like, when he gets his regeneration tree topped up again when he's Matt Smith, that imbalance...
Yeah.
Because it's crossing universes, isn't it?
You can always come up with a MacGuffin reason why it's happening, and then, just spend, one episode or a bunch of two-parters, a season of two-parters as old Doctors.
Yeah.
Because what's interesting is a lot of the, obviously the betting shops put odds on for who's going to be the next one, and Matt Smith and David Tennant are both in there with odds to be the next Doctor.
That's just a bit weird. Okay, so
and it's all based on this previous thing that they've said about revisiting old faces. So it's all from the 50th.
Do you think they know something?
I don't know, but I think it's too good an idea to ignore.
Oh, yeah.
And I think for a show that does break boundaries and allows different people to come in and play the same character, the fact that you could engineer a circumstance where they could all come back for another episode.
Oh, you could have them right.
And make it relevant. So you're not trying to set it in the time period that they were originally the Doctor. It's happening now.
Okay, you could do it like a second Trial of the Time Lords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As the conceit for the season, where they have. Okay, so Capaldi's regenerated, but the rest of the generations that he was given came with a condition, and he has to prove himself worthy. So he then goes back, maybe, I don't know how to say it. He's gone back to previous incarnations of the Doctor, and he has to right a wrong that he made as one of those Doctors.
Potentially. Or
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So David Tennant doesn't lose Rose. Or
I guess that's fucking around with the continuity. I kind of like the idea of still moving the story forward and putting an old Doctor in a situation that the new Doctor has dealt with recently. Like sticking Sylvester McCoy against the Silence, or...
Oh, okay. So contemporary villains versus old
versus
Doctors.
Classic Doctors.
Okay.
It's like Doctor Who Deathmatch.
Yeah, like think of the Doctors who haven't met the Weeping Angels.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Sylvester McCoy would have fun with the Weeping Angels, I reckon.
So I think that it's...
Oh yeah, the Sophie, Ace and Sylvester McCoy, Ace and number 7, their dynamic was so good. That would work really well with the Weeping Angels. Oh, that's a really, really cool idea. God damn it, Mark! Like, god damn it.
But it's a cracking idea. I very much doubt anything will come of it, but if it does, that will be the most awesome season.
Yeah.
Because it's not constrained, it gets rid of all that kind of, bedding in of a new Doctor and stuff, and literally focuses on the character, not who's playing him.
Yeah, and you get all the fan service that you want. You can get back all the old companions that you need to get back that are still around. Like, I'm sure Brian Lang was still knocking around somewhere. She could come back with Mel.
She was off with Brian Blessed.
Nah, she can come back.
No, well, who'd want to come back? She went off with Brian Blessed.
Yeah, okay. You could bring back some other characters that we haven't seen yet in the new Doctor Who.
And then you can set it up for a later series. But I think one season of bringing back old Doctors, old companions, new storylines, throwing them all together into the mix with some kind of overall plot of why it's happening.
Well, the overall plot would have to be a combination of two things. One, a test, and two, something very badly wrong with the regeneration cycle.
Yeah. And then you play that out for one season, and then you set up for a new season with a new Doctor. Informed by the choices that have been made in that one season.
Yeah, and it also gives the new head writer some breathing room as well.
Indeed, and gives him some room to flex his muscles with the entire canon.
Yeah. Man, we're too smart.
Well, it wasn't my idea, but, you know.
But yeah, that's a cracking idea there.
So, yeah, by all means, you know, everybody out there, take that, think on it, play on it, see what you reckon, and come back to us with ideas. And I'd love to sit and have a beer with people and chat about it.
Sci-Fi Weekend, we will.
Well, indeed, we will.
Yeah. You going to touch casting? I mean, I think I'm going to stick with my previous casting choices.
Yeah, pretty much.
Timothée Chalamet for Idris Elba.
Yeah, all very good. David Harewood is another one that's been mooted, but I think he's probably too busy with Supergirl, so... Yeah. Patterson Joseph.
Yeah.
Again.
Benaki.
So, I don't think my choices have changed, and I think left field choices like Rupert Grint just to finally be a ginger. You know, they're all in there. But I don't know. I mean, as has been said quite a lot in the media, it's one of those things that they don't announce the Doctor is leaving until they've pretty much decided what they're going to do.
Yeah. And I do so much hope that they don't announce it with a BBC One special like they did last time.
Yeah, that was
because that was
awful.
The worst.
Oh, it really was.
That was so bad. I think I wouldn't be surprised if most people got turned off Capaldi purely because of the way that he was announced as the Doctor. No,
let's not do that again, please, BBC.
In fact, BBC, don't tell anybody. Don't leak it to the press. Nothing. Literally, let us know who the Doctor is when we see the end of Capaldi's generation.
The actual episode.
When we see it.
Hell yeah.
That's when we want to find out.
Yeah.
Not beforehand. Then we can go and spend.
Then we can be speculating for months. You know? This will give us shit to talk about for a year.
Yeah. Gives us content. So if you're listening, BBC, just keep it to yourself and let the fans find out when the Doctor actually transforms, because that's where it should be.
Hell yes.
Cool.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. I'll put my soapbox away. Right, we've got to the end of it now.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it just boils down to kind of where we're going to be and what we're going to be up to for the next couple of months.
So, we're going to be at a couple of conventions. Well, one convention and one podcast.
A charity podcast event.
Record event, yeah. We're going to be in Southampton on the 26th of March. We have more or less 2 hours of space to fill on a 36-hour live
charity
super podcast
event
for Comic Relief.
Yeah.
So get sending in questions that you want to ask us, and we'll ask them once. And
we'll be live.
Well.
It will be live streaming, so we will be on Twitter and we'll be on Facebook. So by all means, come along, join in. If not in person, then online, and send us questions and keep us going, because it's a 36-hour live event. So we're not exactly sure what slot we've got yet, but we'll keep you updated on the site and let you know when we're there, and we will be live broadcasting when that happens. So please do come along and join us.
Yeah, and then a week later,
literally a week later,
we are achieving hashtag life goals.
Yes, we are.
We will have a stage at the Sci-Fi Weekender. Yeah.
Yep, we will be on the Saturday evening. Timings again maybe a little bit up in the air, but looks like on the Saturday evening at the Sci-Fi Weekender we're going to be recording a live podcast on site. So anybody who is at the event, please come along, join in. We'll be giving away random taps, drinking beer, talking to whatever guests we can cajole into joining us on the show.
We're going to try and corral a couple of guests to come on, and then give away some of our some goodies from our random
some
box of
stuff
shit.
from the random box of tat.
Yeah.
And for anyone else who's there over the weekend, we've got a whole bunch of panels and things we're doing. You may even end up having to listen to me getting up and playing my guitar and singing at some point over the weekend, so that'll be unpleasant for you all.
And I'm going to be walking around with a camera and a portable recorder. So if you see me and you want to just say a couple of things like why you love sci-fi, why you love the weekend, come and give me your tuppence worth.
Yay!
Yeah.
So we'll see you all there.
Yeah. Brilliant. I think that's all.
I think so.
Okay, that's all for now. Thanks very much for listening. Until next time, I've been Brendan.
I've been Spindles.
Take care and be excellent to each other. Did I find that?
So close!
Ah.